in just a minute, are made up of hundreds of plants. A few are native, most are what we call Plant Select plants. Maybe you've heard of Plant Select. Plant Select is a collaboration of the Denver Botanic Gardens, CSU, and what we call the green industry, which is retailers and landscapers and horticulturists. So nurseries that sell these plants and promote and propagate these plants, as well as horticulturists. So these three groups got together and created Plant Select, which brings plants in from all over the world that have a similar climate to ours. Greece, Morocco, Turkey, Spain, South Africa. We'll see a lot of these. And so these plants are here in our garden, and our garden is a demonstration garden. We say that over and over again because probably like any garden you've had, things die, things bloom, some things make it, some things don't, some things do really well, some things just hang on at the edge of our extreme conditions that we have here. So this garden's a demonstration garden, as is all our gardens, and things will change, as Melanie said, from season to season, week to week. Some things will be blooming, others won't. Next year, some of these plants won't be here because they won't have made it, because we're demonstrating, we're experimenting with these Plant Select plants and seeing which ones are really going to make it here and are good adaptations or good adapted for here. So that's one thing we're going to go see down there is Plant Select plants. We also have 7 zones down there. This is just a little map and it's on our brochure, but we'll see 7 different zones that were created to represent 7 different kind of habitats. And you might ask yourself, how can we create habitats on one sun-baked hillside? Well, we did that through moving rocks, boulders, planting trees and bushes in special places, so it created little micro-habitats. And that helped through shade, through the heat of rocks, through little elevational changes, pockets where moisture might either stay or drain. So there's all sorts of little ways we made these 7 micro-habitats down there. And I'll mention them when we're down there. Summer and it's hot. I thought a good theme for this little walk would be sun and sex.
Whoa, perfect.
Because in the garden in the summer, sun is a big factor, heat, sun, and then sex is all around us in that these flowers are showing off their best look, their showiness, in order to attract pollinators. So sun and sex is really the name of the game for this month probably in the garden. And it got your attention.
The sex part. Yeah.
Just like in the summer for us in the sun, we slip, slap, and slap. Remember that expression? We slip on a shirt, slap on sunscreen, slap on a hat, slap on sunscreen to deal with the hot sun. All the plants in this garden that bake all day have adaptations, things they do in order to survive in this hot sun and not wither up and die. So we're going to look at some of those adaptations all these plants have. And then again, the showy flowers they have to attract their pollinators for the sex. And that's to hold in the moisture to keep it so that it doesn't dry up. And you can see the silvery coloration again that helps with the heat here, the warding off of the hot sun, and the flower that attracts the pollinators. Our South African gems right here. And it's a memorial garden to a man who's still living, Panayote Kalaitis, who goes to South Africa and collects a lot of these beautiful ice plants and other South African gems and brings them back for Plant Select. So we've got here some gazanias, which are becoming a little invasive, but that's okay because they're beautiful. We've got your torch lily with the giant orange flowers right here. These are another great example of hot, sunny weather adaptations. These are almost like a yucca, very leathery leaves. We've got our ice plants, which if you're from California, you know ice plant a little bit. And these are all really beautiful pinks, oranges, reds coming back in. Ice plant is a good example of succulent, waxy, that can really take the heat because they store their own moisture. This is the montane forest area, and we have a lovely little penstemon. This is a great example of the sex part of our tour. The beautiful bright red color and the shape of that flower are magnets for our favorite pollinators, hummingbirds and sphinx moths. Are you guys familiar with these giant moths that look like a hummingbird? They can be out during the day or the dusk. They're crepuscular, actually, dawn and dusk. But both of them love the shape of these flowers because they have a long either proboscis or beak and tongue to get in there. And as they go from plant to plant, flower to flower, they are spreading the pollen that these plants need for the sex part of the plant. And then also we'll get bees, wasps, butterflies. In other countries, bats would be a pollinator. Here we only have insect-eating bats. But another adaptation plants have in the hot heat is fuzzy leaves. Fuzzy leaves add a shade factor. Just like on a cactus, the spines of a cactus actually add shade. It's a cooling mechanism as well as a reduced leaf. But this fuzziness adds an insulation factor and a reflectiveness that helps the plant.
And the Danae garden, and it's like ultra xeric. We are watering it as it gets started up in the first 2 years or so, but eventually the idea is to just let it go. Here there's the penstemon. If you don't know a name of a flower in a garden and you want to impress somebody, just call it a penstemon because they'll never know. But the thing about penstemons, I printed out a little, they are such an amazing plant that they have their own society, the penstemon society, and sometimes they're called beard tongues, and the genus penstemon is one of the largest wildflowers genus in the world. They're native to North America and Central America, but the greatest number are where? Right in our area. So we can be very proud of the penstemons that grow here. And so in closing, we certainly hope that you've learned a few things about the garden here. Hope you'll spread the word about the Friday tours. We hope that you'll be back. The Rocky Mountain region has become very innovative over the last, 30, 40 years in horticulture. And part of that is demonstrated here. And now you guys know that you can go home or go to the nurseries, pick out plant select plants, and they should thrive in your gardens. Ask us for a brochure if you would like to join the Durango Botanical Society. If you're passionate about gardening, or if you would just like to be passionate, we would love to have you. All the, joining fees, thank you. Membership fees, of course, help to support, the work that happens here in this garden.